one of those things I love doing is catching up with people I've chatted with before. But a couple of years ago, I managed to get hold of Derek from Mathewsons, and we had a quick chat. And I've just got him here now because I'm in his office. Derek, how you doing, mate?
I'm okay, yeah, fine, thank you very much. Yeah, I do remember the conversation briefly. And, we're doing much the same thing, really, to be honest. Nothing much changed, just busier.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got an awful lot of lots in for tomorrow, isn't it, for March auction?
Yeah, it's tomorrow and the day after, Thursday. We have it over a 2-day period. We start at 10 and we do 350 the first day. Then we start on 351 the following day and go to the end. And I think this time it's around about 700 lots. But we've had 730 or 40 before now. But they're trying to keep the lots down a little bit so that we can, maybe feel it's a bit more manageable on 2 days. And so it'll be 2 very busy days, yeah.
Now, I've just been wandering about outside and, I'm dribbling because some of those cars are they're all pretty good, but some of them are absolutely beautiful, aren't they? How do you keep your hands off them?
Well, we encourage that. We don't, we say 2 door slams and you're out. And if we catch you putting your fingers on them, then you're out. Yeah. So we're pretty strict like that, but you've got to be, because it's not only time, and we clean every car, polish every car in some way, shape or form, and it's very disheartening when you look at it of an evening time and there's finger marks and bits and pieces of marks all over it, mainly sweaty marks and that. Yeah. But it all needs doing again for the people the next day, and the guy who comes in the next day to look at it, he don't want to see all finger marks everywhere, does he? And plus the fact we've got an obligation to look after the vehicles for the vendors. They're not our cars, they're somebody else's car. So I'd like to think that if the boot was on the other foot, they'd look after my car just the way I look after theirs.
Now, outside, there's a rather nice-looking, sporty racing-type car. Is that Charlie's?
No, that is Jack's.
That's
Jack. Yeah, Jack started running a bit more. Seems strange, really, him being the older grandson. Charlie actually started before him, really. And anyway, he's doing very, very well, extremely well. He'll go a long way with Jack. He's a very quick driver. And Charlie won the junior championship last year. So he's he's defending it this year and open to win it again.
Brilliant. Now, you've got a big event coming up, haven't you, soon?
Yeah, we've got an open event at Scampston. We had one last year. I think it was limited to about 3,000 or 3,500 people a day, organised by UK TV. They've upped that now to 7,500 people a day. Wow. And I think tickets are sold out, on one day at least. So it was a great event. Yeah, it was an open air auction, basically. With pop groups and stuff and all that sort of thing going on, and side shows and car shows. We'll have 500 cars there this year, and so it's becoming really popular. It's only the second year, of course, this year, but people are already queuing up, to buy tickets and come again. So yeah, it went down really well. Excellent.
One cheeky question, which I've got to ask: how's the collection going?
Well, unloading a lot of cars, actually. Really? Yeah, cars and motorbikes, yeah. There comes a time when you just can't keep on going collecting, and we haven't got enough room. And we've probably collected and bought more vehicles than we should have done over the last 4 or 5 years. And now time to have a thin down. So I should sell just about all the motorbikes and 50% of the cars anyway. And a bit more manageable then, maybe. Yeah.
Is there one that you would never ever part with?
No, there isn't. No, I would have said yes a few years ago, 5 or 10 years ago. I would have said there's probably 2 or 3 there that I would never have ever thought about selling. But do you know what? No, there isn't now. I've got to an age, and I've heard this so many times from vendors that I've been to visit, and they say, I didn't think I'd ever sell this, but I don't really want it anymore. I've outgrown it, and do you know what? I've outgrown most of them. So sad to see old friends go that I've had 35, 40 years. But no, to be perfectly honest, I'm not really too sad, no.
Okay. All right. Derek, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for having a chat with me again. And I might sign on and come and have a look at the auction tomorrow, but I am on duty bound from my wife to keep my hands in my pocket.
Well, everybody says that. Yeah, all the husbands say more or less exactly the same thing. But and you all go back on it. And what we say is that we have ways of changing your wife's mind.
Right.
So we know people that know people. So let me know. I'm very pleased to see you again, and I hope you catch up with the boys. They can't be far away. They must be out there somewhere. So I encourage you just to track them down for a second.
I will. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers. I've been talking with your dad, and we've been talking about the cars and the auction, because you've got a big one tomorrow, haven't you? 700.
We have a big auction starts tomorrow. Yes, we seem to have found our way up to the 700s. Yeah, we're 600 and some anyway. The first 325 lots will be tomorrow, Wednesday.
Right. Well, we're going to try and sign in and come and have a look. But I've been duty bound, as I was saying to Derek. I am not allowed to buy anything.
Well, that's no good, is it? No, I'll have a word with her. We'll sort that out. Don't worry about that. It's
Steam model railway.
We had some guys down earlier on, and the wife had deactivated his online banking, and she's removed his credit card, and so on and so forth. So you're not on your own.
Right.
But I'll have a word with her afterwards and smooth it over.
Now, looking around here, the vehicles you have are so random, aren't they? I mean, everything from big Ford tractors, old trucks, the most beautiful 3-litre Healy.
Yes, and you have to have a good variation of vehicles, a good cross-section of budget, we pride ourselves in having almost something for everyone. There's no point in having a shed full of Capris then, because there's only so many buyers for Capris, and once you've seen half a dozen, you've seen them all. So we like to have a good cross-section, good age range, etc.
Is there any car which, when you see it, when you're going to pick it up, you think, that's going to sell straight away?
Oh yeah, definitely. And normally we're wrong. It's normally you arrive and think, oh yeah, this is a bit of me, this, and this will cause massive interest, and then for whatever reason it doesn't. No, completely bizarre. Obviously we all like different things, don't we, which is fortunate. If we all like the same product, it'd be dreadfully boring, wouldn't it? The world would be a dreadful spot, wouldn't it? But because we all like slightly different things, we all see things in a different way, and we all value things differently, which is where the auction side of things really does come up trumps. I might value something at $5,000. You look at it and think it must do $10,000.
Yeah.
Completely different, aren't we?
I was talking with Derek, and he's saying to me that he's selling off some of his collection. How do you feel about that? I mean, you're glad to get rid of some of the things.
Yeah, some of them. No, seriously, poor old father, I feel for him a little bit, because he's been putting off this day for a long, long time, really. Most of the ones he's selling, I'm looking at a Cowley over there now, a Morris Cowley, 1930, whatever it might be, and lovely, lovely, lovely car. I have absolutely no interest in it at all. I don't want to own one, I don't want to drive one, and I don't want to clean it again. So for us boys, as long as he sells the ones we have no interest in, then we're happy.
Now, you had a Bentley, didn't you, at one time you bought through it?
I have had a Bentley, yeah. I had maybe 18, 19 months with a Bentley and loved every mile in it. But unfortunately, they haven't much room in the back, them GTs, and therefore the kids couldn't get in it anymore. So
isn't that a bonus?
I know, well, it was a bonus, yeah. The trouble is I only go from home to work and back, and I might catch a couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon. That's me lot. So yeah, unfortunately, it became the work. It became the commuter car. And everyone said, oh, what about running costs? What about petrol? They use no more petrol than a normal four-wheel drive, which we all run every day, you know. Yeah. So it's a big fallacy. Big engine things use loads and loads of fuel. They don't, not unless you're tootling around a town. Then they do. But on a run, all the rest of it, fantastic.
Is there any one car, this is a daft question I know, but is there any one car which you wish you had?
Do you know what? I do get asked that a little bit, and I really must put a bit more thought into it, because no, there isn't. If you gave me an open checkbook this afternoon, I honestly wouldn't know what to go and get. I really wouldn't. I'm a bit like a kid in a sweet shop here, aren't I? Because we're surrounded by so many nice things, and we're very lucky, aren't we? You know, I'm able. Obviously, we don't go home in them. They're other people's items, aren't they? But you know, equally, we get quite a lot of guys say use it for the weekend. You know, which is lovely. When I go out and pick cars up, and the vendors are actually saying use it for the weekend. Take the wife out. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
There can't be that many jobs, or indeed people, that would entrust you with their goods and use them as you wish. It's fantastic.
You know, this is why we're so jealous of you.
I know. Yeah, it's very humbling. It really is very humbling, and it doesn't go unnoticed. No, it's quite nice.
Have you tried the bubble car yet?
Believe it or not, I did get in it the other day. No. Yeah. To be honest, there was a lady and gentleman, and she was in love with it. She was quite taken with it, and said, "Could I sit in it? Could she sit in it?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can, love. Yeah." And we opened the door for her, and she got in, and then the husband got in, and then I said to Mick, "Go on, it's your turn, Mick," and he was going to get in. So we nearly had three of us in for a minute or two.
Oh, good God.
But yeah, I had it running the other morning. It's lovely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
You're
Now
welcome.
we've got to find the other one. I wonder where he is.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, he's not up here.
No.
He'll be looking very busy down there.
As you all do.
Absolutely, yeah, we've mastered the art. So he's probably down there somewhere, yeah. He's
All
definitely
right.
down the other side.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you. We've been speaking about Jack and his car, and I've now found Jack and the car. What is it? Tell us a bit about it. It's gorgeous.
It's a little bit of a special one, this one, really. So it looks like your ordinary Fiesta, but underneath we've actually got a Mitsubishi Evo X. So it's Mitsubishi Evo X running gear, and with a Fiesta shell, really. So a bit of a copy of a sort of Malcolm Wilson built proper Fiesta R5, but a lot cheaper. No, it's a fair bit of kit. I haven't had a chance to use it much yet, so I've only been out in it a couple of times, but I've got a track day this weekend coming up, so just sort of final preparations, really, and use it as a bit of a test day, and hopefully get out in it more this year. So
Now, somebody said you're following in young Charlie's footsteps. Is this how you feel about it?
Charlie is doing really, really well. He's the lad. He's obviously in the junior championship, so he started a bit younger than me. So credit to him, he's doing really, really well. So it's a little bit new to me. Mainly, I'm out in the escort. So I've got a good few events under my belt so far, and things seem to be looking good with some good results. So I don't know who's chasing who yet. Yeah, it won't be long though. It won't be long until he's catching up with me. So he's a good little driver, is Charlie. So hopefully he'll do well. We both do well, and both working hard, trying to both sort of just at the moment, obviously it's all about a finish. For me especially, just get finished, get the experience under my belt, and sort of slowly progress this year, and then next year move on to sort of bigger and better things, hopefully. So so far so good. Yeah, and the car's still straight. So
that's the most important thing. Now, how on earth? I did crazy question. How on earth do you find the time to do this when you're so busy in there? Because we see you on TV all the time.
Because I don't usually walk through the door till sort of 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. Okay. That's why. Most evenings I'm in the garage pottering about with something, usually the rally cars, getting it ready for the next event and whatnot. So late nights, very late nights. So you got to find time, haven't you? But you enjoy it, so I certainly do. And it don't really feel like work. I know you're working with cars all day, then going home and doing the same thing. It can get a little bit monotonous, but it's a bit different when it's your own. Yeah. And something a little bit tasty. So it's good. You're enjoying it, All
right, I want a crafty question here. Is there anything going through the auction tomorrow that I should keep my eye on?
Oh, there's all sorts though, isn't there? Blimey, there's all sorts. Anything in particular? It depends what you're into. There's loads. There's something for everyone. Every sale, that is one good thing, from the auction side of things, as opposed to retail. Obviously, we see so many cars, transition each month, and there's always something weird and wonderful and different. And there's too many to choose from. Too many. Right. Yeah, you'll have to get your eyes on all of them. So there is a lovely 8,000 mile Escort Cosworth, which I quite fancy in there. 8,000 miles. Good so that'd be interesting to see what it makes. Yeah. Lovely low mileage ST behind it. There's some lovely Austin Healey's up there, which have caused a lot of interest. There's something for everyone, isn't there? I know. Yeah, I could just do to borrow a little bit more money and start buying some more. That's the problem. Yeah, you get all excited. So
Is it true that you always get the rubbish collections?
I get the difficult ones. I think they tend to go out and see. That might be a little bit of a challenge, and then it's like, Jack, what are you doing on Thursday? It's a piece of cake. Yeah, it's straight out, and then you get there and you're thinking, bloody hell, I knew I should have thought about this one through. But no, I like it. I like a bit of a challenge. We have a good crack. So it's good. I enjoy it.
Okay, Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Mate. Nice to meet you both.
I'll let you carry on working on the car.
That's it, I'll carry on.
Now, in the inner sanctum, we find all the motorbikes, and we also find Alan Sooty. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Tell me, there's some amazing bikes here, everything from Francis Barnett's to goodness knows what. You are the bike man, though, aren't you?
I tend to look after them, yeah. Me and Andy in this end, we share between us, we help each other. But yeah, we try to keep the bike straight, best way we can.
Now, as I said, there are some fantastic bikes here. Are there any where you sort of look at them and you think, oh my God?
I'm leaning on one now, the trials bikes.
Really, the trials bikes?
Yep. I've never had a road bike, other than a little C50 to go to work on. I've never really had a road bike. They've not really interested me because there's been too many accidents.
Yeah.
I've always been into the racing side of it, either trials, mainly motocross when I was younger, because if you have an accident, there's people there to help you, and everybody should be going the same way.
Yeah.
So I've always just been the off-road kind of biker.
So you love these here then,
Yeah.
the Bultacos and what? Oh, that's a Bultaco as well.
Montessors, yeah. Yeah, Bultacos, Montessors. We've actually got an SWM over there. But these, I've had most of these models, different times, but the scramble bikes were the main things, not the trials bike. The trials bikes were biking, but not the same as scrambling.
So when you say scrambling, I mean, is this going back to the proper old scramble stuff that you used to see on TV?
Yeah. World of Sport, BBC Grandstand, that was the scrambling days. They now call it motocross.
Yeah.
But it was scrambling with proper tracks, none of these jumps and in the air posing. No. This was proper racing. If you got it wrong, you hit a tree, sort of thing, you know. So yeah, it was proper bikes.
Through the mud, through the trees, through the forest.
That's right. Yep. The muddier the better.
Yeah. Do you still do it?
No, I'm too old for that. When you're young, if you fall off, you go boing boing.
Yeah.
As you get older, you go splat and you can't stand up again.
So there's no fear of you buying any of these then?
I do have a trials bike at home.
Right.
Yeah. Biggest thing is I'm too busy working. I never have time to ride it. So I turn more to 4 wheels rather than 2, with car rallying instead. It's the same buzz as motocross, but you've got 4 wheels and you don't have to balance as much. But having said that, if you have a crash, it still hurts the same.
One thing I've got to ask you, when the bikes go through on the auction, do you get excited? You know, come on, bit more.
Yeah, you do if it's the right kind of bike.
Yeah.
And some don't even get bids on, you know, so you think, why hasn't that gone? It should have done. There was a nice BSA Gold Star in last time. It was a real nice bike. It should have gone for big money. I don't think it got a bid.
No.
You know, it just didn't make what they were expecting, so it's gone back to the vendor.
Good grief. Now, you see, I'm looking at all of this, and there's maybe, a dozen, maybe more bikes that I just think, if I could get that on the plane, I'd take it home with me.
Whichever it is will help us to load it. I had a couple came in, probably the auction before last, and he was looking at a scooter. And he said, "I love that." I said, "Well, it can be bought." And his wife was stood at the other side of the room, and he just nodded as much as to say, "She won't let me."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's got grandchildren." I said, "You could buy that scooter, have pleasure from it. If you've got a bit of money now, you're retired. Buy the scooter. When it's finished with, give it to your grandkids." But I said, "You could have the money in the bank, and God forbid if you have to go into a home, they're going to take every penny from you that you've earned." Yeah. And you're not going to get anything. Anyway, his wife had come across at that point and joined in the conversation. She says, "You're right." He put a bid in for it. I don't know whether he got it or not, but he put a bid in for it.
Oh, brilliant story. Brilliant story. Well, look, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
All right, mate.
Whoops.
Take care. Right, we're in the Nerve Centre, the office. What's your name?
Jeanette.
Jeanette, thank you so much for having a chat with me. What's it like being in here?
It can be very busy at times, very trying with people coming in to try and sign in and sign out at the same time. This morning, very busy. We had a coach of pre-arranged viewing of 60 people, so we ran out of jackets. So yeah, we had a queue out the door of people waiting to get in.
Because that's the thing, you can't just wander in. You've got to sign in, you've got to get yourself a Viz jacket, and then you can have a little look round.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's so many beautiful cars out there.
There are, yes. I absolutely love working here simply because of the different array of vehicles that do come through the door every month.
All right, he's not here, so I can ask the question. What's it like working for Derek?
Do you know, again, absolutely same thing. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do, yeah. I'm very car orientated anyway, so yeah, I did fall on my feet when I got this one.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. So now I'm in the best bit, the bit with all the motorbikes in, and the memorabilia. And Andy, you deal with the memorabilia, is that right?
I do, yes, yeah. I do for my sins, yes. We're trying to get caught up with a lot from 2 or 3 years back, but we're getting there.
I was going to say, the memorabilia, there's just tons of it, literally, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of it. When I started in November, we've from them to now, we've sort of got a grip on it. We've got it all on shelves and paperwork, right? So we're getting there. We're getting there with it.
But it's such random stuff, isn't it? I mean, you've got things from railway stations, you've got steam engines down here, you've got car signs. How on earth do you go about trying to catalogue it all?
When it comes in, we fill a form in, and then I photograph it, put it on a shelf, put where it is, and I've got it. I know where it is.
It must be an absolute minefield.
It is a minefield, yeah, but we're getting there.
Yeah. So, one thing I've got to ask you. I mean, you've got leather jackets here, riding boots, cars, the tins. Now, a lot of people don't realise, but the old tins are worth a heck of a lot of money, aren't they?
Yeah, they're £60 to £100 up, or whatever, you know, whatever people will pay. If there's 2 or 3 wanting them, then
it'll just go through the
roof.
roof.
Goes through the roof, yeah.
And look at this Concorde. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, I think it's McLaren Formula 1.
Oh, wow. It's really clever, though, isn't it? And is there anything that you've actually had in here that you thought to yourself, I wouldn't mind that hanging on my man cave wall?
Not really. I'm not. I see it every day, so
I suppose so.
Yeah, I can look at it all the time, so I don't really need to hang it on my wall, do I? There is some nice stuff though, some lovely signs and things like that. But no, I'll stick to what I'm doing.
All right, Andy, thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciate it. Good luck with tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be good.